다 제각각으로 생겼네.
English it means the break of dawn, but it refers to an opportunity to start afresh, really. And so a significant wind production energy supply, which if you look along the hills or maybe when you're flying out, you'll see that along the ridgeline we have quite a few wind turbines.
Seoul City is dedicated to its 2050 greenhouse gas reduction plan, aiming to cut CO2 emissions. Ecological restoration aims to enhance the urban living environments by managing ecosystems and expanding green spaces. Additionally, the second is the Eco Mileage Program. It is a leading civic participation greenhouse gas reduction program with 1/4 of Seoul's population participating now. And the third best practice, I will introduce a program that has many minority groups. First of all, a program is conducted to help the underprivileged through energy slow companion.
Since Seoul is facing various natural hazards like storm, heavy rain, heavy snow, heat wave, the government of Seoul metropolitan city categorized current problems into 5 and then set up detailed strategies for each problem. Finally, we will introduce policies to respond to disaster using smart city technology. We need a system that could respond in real time due to the increased frequency of storm and flood, heavy snow, heat wave, and cold wave by the climate change.
You might know the answer to this, but is the municipality the ones that are leading most of these programs? And my sense would be how much of evidence base has been developed that speaks to most of these activities in terms of climate risk assessments and all that. Do you know if that has been done?
The government, we had for the from when I was young, we had frequent flooding in city. But since my college, we didn't experience the flood issues. But recently,
Again,
we experienced the flooding. So the government trying to kind of respond to it. So.
But like Central Business District is located in quite steep landscape, so I think it's quite similar feature compared to Central Business District in Seoul. Yes, we also CBD is located in quite steep landscape, so I think it is quite a weak feature for the flood happening. So how do you cope with in the case of flood in CBD district?
So you made your own software kind of tool to make investment for the software, or you made your own.
Thank you for joining our interview. And I'm Jimin Kim from University of Seoul, and I'm majoring in urban planning and design in the Department of Urban Sociology, and they are also students working studying urban sociology. The first question is, what kind of non-profit organization is Sustainability Trust is, and why the reason why was it established?
Okay, so we're a charity, not for profit. This is our 21st year of operation. I think it's a bit lost in the midst of time why we got established, but it was a group of people who are really passionate about waste minimisation who kind of got together and established Sustainability Trust. Curtain bank, so we take in donations of fabric and curtains from householders and businesses. Then we have a curtain bank manager and a full paid sewer and volunteers who take those curtains and fabric, and they will make sure the curtains are double lined, and then they will match them to people who have ordered curtains from us. And people are eligible for curtains if they have a community services card, or if we've had a referral through one of our healthy homes programs that it's a family that needs that kind of support.
Could you explain more about the future vision or future goal of Sustainability Trust is aiming at?
Yeah, it's interesting. We're just at the end of the three-year plan, and we'll be spending the next few months kind of focusing on our next 3-year plan. But our focus areas will remain zero waste and fair energy, and the link between those and climate action. We have some exciting new projects on the way, so we want to carry on building Toast Electric. Plus we are establishing a reusable serviceware project for the city. So email me with any questions you have follow-up. If you go onto our website and under About,
questions,
yes,
if that's okay. Would that be right?
Yeah.
Because I have, we did a little presentation last year around decarbonisation of buildings and how BTune supports decarbonisation. Would that be something that would be useful? So what we talked about is obviously why we should decarbonise, so I think you already know all that, but obviously there's changing climate, but there's also changing market, so tenants and people that are occupying buildings are keen for the buildings that they occupy to have low carbon, so have less impact. So not only should building owners do it because it's important for them, the relative emissions factors for electricity versus natural gas. Natural gas has got a high emissions factor versus electricity. And in New Zealand we've got a very clean electrical grid, so a lot of from hydro and solar. So if we can convert our heating systems to electric from natural gas. And so what we were talking about is helping our clients and building owners understand maybe an overall carbon roadmap. So understand, rather than say next year we want to decarbonise our building, it's what are the steps we should do towards getting there. And things like what is a reasonable level of expenditure or investment, and when is the right timing. So for example, the example up there is when a building is the lease expiry, so the tenant moves out, that might be a good time to do a retrofit and update the building. Developing basically a roadmap towards decarbonisation. So I've got this is about designing a building to reduce its carbon impact. Often case what we found was when clients said that we want a low carbon building, let's put some solar panels on the roof. It was starting at the wrong end, it was starting at the wrong space. If you want a low carbon building, you've got to start at the beginning, which is the size of the building and the fabric first. Yeah.
Becca is famous for its sustainability seeking engineering companies. So why did Becca pursue climate change and sustainability? And when did it begin to pursue sustainability?
I like to think that that was from the very beginning. Engineers are very interested in building and designing carefully. So I think sustainability has always been part of our history. But then more recently, the solving the challenges of sustainability and solving the challenges of climate change require engineering thought, and we're pretty well suited and well placed to help society kind of achieve the changes required. And so what our main theme is to make every day better, which is make every day better for our communities and for the world. So what we're actually striving to improve and so we're looking at two things. We're looking at the energy use, and like I say, we're looking at the operational data. What we are going through actually right now is we're doing a tuning process for the Wellington Convention Centre, Tākina. I don't know if you've seen that opposite Te Papa. There's a big the Wellington Convention Centre. We're tuning that, so that building was finished in March of last year. It was completed and occupied, and what we're doing now is monitoring its operation for 2 years to tune the building and optimise its energy use. How that works in practice is that we are looking at the energy data, looking at where energy is going, as well as looking at the operational data to work out if there are any anomalies. And every 3 months we will do a review of that and issue a report and say there seems to be too much energy going that way, or there's too much water going this way. And so that helps us sort of identify opportunities to change the operation of the building. Yeah. And that's how it's working in practice. And it also monitors, but also you also don't want to make a change that compromises the comfort of the space. So it's also looking at temperatures and humidities within the space to make sure that I make a change. I don't want to mean the temperature in the space gets too hot.
From an article, we found that Wellington Museum went through a renovation through B2 service. Actually, we are planning to visit the museum. Could you explain the renovation project of Wellington Museum and which parts should we consider at the visit?
Oh, that's a hard one. It's going back a few years. Have you been to the Wellington Museum yet, or not yet? Once. There were 2 areas, from memory, where we saved quite a bit of energy in the Wellington Museum. One was due to, when we went for a walk around, we found that a component had failed and a damper, like an air damper, was open, and that was causing quite a lot of energy use, so that got repaired. But the other part was to do with humidity control. So museums use a lot of energy to have stable humidity within space. So by testing and confirming with the users and with the museum operators what levels of humidity they actually required in different spaces, we were able to optimise the operation to, in some areas, relax the humidity control without compromising the degree of archival. This is kind of interesting about the refrigerant. So you know what I'm talking about, refrigerant? Just to understand, like the gas that gives you cooling out of your air conditioning. That's the gas, the fluid that does the work. So this is a refrigerant or a chemical type that is often used in air conditioning units, and if that is 2,000 times more potent in terms of climate change than 1 ton of CO2. So if one amount of that gets into the atmosphere, it's 2,000 times worse than actually CO2 is. That's Tākina. There's some stuff there, yeah. So that was a little presentation on that. I don't think you'll see anything else. Yeah, there's a screen as you go in the front door. There's a digital screen on the front that tells you how much energy and water the building's using. So that's something you can have a look at as well.
Is the facade design related to carbon reduction or it is just...
Yes, it is. Yep. It's got a